Wow, this is going to be kind of a personal episode for me because we're going to revive my dream car, the '71 Road Runner. Hit it! Unfortunately, it's kind of gutless, and yes, it's a one-legger. But this time, that doesn't matter that much to me because what I'm looking for here is to have a really nice daily driver. I don't need it super radical, I just need it completely reliable and looking okay. I'm actually happy that the paint's kind of shot on it, but you're gonna see us compounding the thing, cleaning it all up, fixing some dents, changing a few things to make this the car I've wanted forever, the perfect muscle car daily driver. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
I guess I should tell you why this car is such a big deal to me, because a lot of people think a '71 Road Runner or Satellite is really ugly. I think it's one of the greatest body styles ever, but it's all about memories. I had a 446 pack car when I was 19 years old, ended up selling it, always wanted another one, and I dug deep for literally years to find this one. This is a 383 automatic car with a bench seat, and it would be exactly the right car for me if it didn't have the vinyl top and if it did have a 4-speed. But other than that, this is the greatest thing I've found in 10 years of looking. And it came from a Roadkill fan. Brian Crumpacker saw on Facebook that I was dying to have one of these cars, and he had the perfect one. And what makes it perfect is it's not flawless. It's an original, solid, fairly rust-free car. It just has specks of rust. It doesn't have the original paint job. It's been repainted once, but it doesn't need any work, really. It ran and drove perfectly when I got it, and it's not so nice that I can't drive the thing absolutely everywhere. It's not so nice that I can't just wash it at the coin-op car wash, because I'm terrible at detailing cars. It's the right one. I think this is the keeper, and it's the car that I will finally actually drive every day. Ready for this? This is what we call Roadkill brake rebuild. Look at that. Stuff is like magic. I literally love this stuff. I would take it home. I would marry it. I would let it meet my parents. There you go. Roadkill rebuild. This is gonna look familiar because these are the exact same shocks that we installed on the crop duster a few episodes back. They're a QA1 Stalker Star, and frankly, they're radical overkill for what we're doing here because I got the double adjustable version, and I just wanted it to be really, really great riding, and I wanted all that adjustability. So this is another Roadkill example of way too good a part on way too bad a car. But it's gonna make it ride good, and that's what's important to me. Okay, if I go tight, it's hard to pull out, and then loosen it up, and whoop. Adjustability in action. I put a tape on here so that we can do like the
before and after?
You ever go to the swap meet and there's like the infomercial guy standing there with a microphone on and he's showing you how to wax stuff?
No, but I can imagine.
Yeah, he's like a carnival barker trying to get people to buy wax, and they always separate like a clapped out old fender into two pieces so you can polish one side and see like the difference before and after. So that's where we're gonna go. So Dulcich is into old school with absolutely everything that you touch.
Yeah.
So his tool is like a professional buffer, and you can see it just moves in a perfect circle, and it's got a wool pad, which is, I guess,
the best you can get.
The best way you could possibly do it. And then there's mine, which is Meguiar's MT300. You can get a lot of these on the market, and it's a DA, watch. See how the pad doesn't just spin, it actually moves in an orbit like this, and it also has a foam pad instead of the wool. So in theory, this is like easier to use, doesn't put swirls in it like that does, and it's got less risk of just completely swirling and destroying your paint job.
I really think this is a lot better. You won't find stuff like that toy over there at a body shop. This is what you'll find.
So this is step one to saving the paint. He's putting on like professional compound. It's a Meguiar's number 84.
We like to call it saucing up.
Sauce it up. Okay, so wait, to begin with, here's the difference. Like, I'll put the stuff on the pad and swirl it around, and you sauce up the panel directly. What's up with that?
This is the way it's done.
Okay.
Look at that.
Look at that.
It's a lot better. I see a little streakiness here and there, but we'll probably get that on the next step that Freiburger's going to do.
You're done fooling around with that antiquated equipment?
We've got 2 more steps. I got to leave something for you.
After Dulcich finished up with the wool pad on the buffer, I followed it up with a Meguiar's Ultimate Paint Restoration System. You can buy this as a kit. It comes with 3 different foam pads and 3 different materials. First of all, I hit it with a red pad using the Ultimate Compound, which further removes some stains. Next, I put the black pad on it, and that's with the Ultimate Polish, which is a glaze. It helps get rid of the swirl marks. And the final step is with the finest pad, which is the yellow one, and the Ultimate Liquid Wax.
Your buffer's actually pretty good.
Oh man, you're admitting that the technology is actually...
Yeah, it's hard to win me over on something, a newfangled buffer like that,
But it's true, right?
it's not bad.
Ready?
Yeah.
Peel it. Wow.
Boom. Look at that.
That's unbelievable. Look, it even took this scratch out. You can see this scratch here. Gone.
That's way better than I expected.
Man.
It looks like you painted it.
That is dramatic, isn't it? It's a different color. Our final finish on the paint job, it's not what you would call show quality. It probably looks a whole lot better on camera than it does in real life, but for me, it's like exactly what I wanted because it's totally presentable. Neighbors can't complain, looks nice. Anybody at a gas station's gonna go, man, cool car, dude. But it has enough chips in it and little scratches and stuff that I don't really have to worry about it. So this is perfect.
I called my buddy Bo Shears and he said these are supposed to be red on the face.
Why?
So when you look through the mag wheel, you have nice red paint and it looks really jazzy.
Really?
Yeah. Should I paint it?
It's kind of too late, right?
I thought I'd start painting before I asked you. I don't know about that red. Do you want to take a look?
What?
It's like call girl lipstick red.
I'll leave it. Who knows? It'll look 70s. Fires right up. Maybe I should connect the coil wire again.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, rev it up. So it only had 20 degrees of total ignition advance, which is nowhere near enough. We're gonna bump that up. Oh, here it just smooth right out.
That sounded nice.
You hear it smooth out?
Yeah.
Now I'm going into the distributor here, and a lot of you will have not ever seen points type ignition system, and that's what this is. You can see that there is a cam lobe on the distributor right here that has 8 points on it, one of which is for each cylinder. And as the distributor rotates, it opens and closes the ignition points right here like that. As the points are closed, the circuit is complete and energy builds up in the coil. When the points open, that field in the coil collapses and sends a spark out the tower, which is then distributed by the distributor out to the spark plugs. So that's how points work. But the problem is that points can get really worn out, which these don't really seem to be. That's old school ignition stuff that works perfectly good for an application like this.
I'm gonna score a whole bunch of used spark plug wires.
You want them?
Yeah.
Why?
When the rabbits eat the wires on the forklift or something.
Oh.
I need a stash of old ones. Nice.
We got all the spark plugs out, and fortunately there's no bad news, no real gnarly oil or anything like that. They're all in pretty good shape. We're throwing in some new NGKs. I am the spark plug wire master as far as routing goes, or routing goes. Is it routing or routing? It's Route 66, I don't know, or is it Route 66? The first thing I do is snap all of the spark plug wires onto the spark plugs themselves, and then I run them sort of how I would like them, and I stick the ends of all of the wires into the cap where they go. That just helps me visualize where I'm gonna be running the train one by one. I'll go through here and cut the wires to their appropriate length. This is the boot that we're going to be putting on the spark plug wire end. It's gonna be like that, so I will actually put those on where I want them to be, And then where you want to cut it is right here at that seam in the boot. This is an MSD crimping plier, which is like a genius tool to have for making spark plug wires. The first thing that you're gonna do is take the end of the wire and you're gonna have to expose the metal core. Pinch it once, then you've got to turn it 90 degrees on the same cutting anvil and pinch it again, and then you can pull the insulation off like that. Once you have got the end of it crimped, you're going to grab your spark plug boot. I'm going to shove it through there. If I bend the boot straight a little bit, I will be able to get the spark plug wire to go all the way through the boot. The next thing that I'm going to do is put on the terminal that needs to go on the wire that snaps into the distributor cap. What I do is fold the terminal over the core like so that that core is completely captured behind the wire right there. Not really the right way to do it, but it is the way I do it. I'm going to stage the terminal inside the appropriate channel on the plier right here, and then stick the wire in, folding the core over and making sure that it is not exposed, and then bam. Crimp. At this point, you need to fold this over, which you can just do with your hand like that, and then let go of it. And there you've got your crimp. You can see that it's grabbing the case of the wire really strong right there. It won't come off. I've got my core folded over. Now I can put my boot back on, bam, and now it's ready to snap into the distributor cap. Easy as that.
Do you want to put the spark plug wires in there and set your distance to perfection?
Man, you're just afraid to even begin to touch a spark
Well, I
plug
don't know.
wire
I mean,
when I'm around, yeah.
It's like getting in the ring with Ali, you know?
You just can't
You
do
know
it.
you're just sparring, but you know, you're just afraid you
Yeah.
might get hurt.
We just removed this induction setup from the Road Runner. Now, this is a Holley 6619-1 carburetor, which would not be the original Holley for the car. Instead, I'm putting this 650 on it. Maybe a tiny marginal improvement in performance there. This carburetor does not have a secondary metering block like this one does. See how there's this fat block in here and there's not one here? The secondary fuel curve is not adjustable in this carburetor without changing a plate that's in there, which nobody really has. It's a nuisance. This has actual jets that are removable, and so it's going to be easier to tune. The other thing I'm doing is ditching the factory cast iron intake manifold for this DP4B. DP4B means Dodge Plymouth 4-barrel. This is like a day two kind of modification. A guy would go run out and purchase a car, and then the next day he had to hop it up. This intake manifold was available when the car was new. You can see it even has a Chrysler part number on it. It was sold through direct connection at the time. And so this is sort of an era correct intake that's gonna add performance and save weight. And we'll be installing it with that Holley 650 vacuum secondary that I'm gonna modify with a quick change vacuum secondary pod.
You ready?
Yep. I'm not gonna call it good, but it's not hideous. I've seen worse.
That's not bad.
We're pretty much done wrenching. We've got the induction and the ignition all dialed in, we think. He's filling up the carburetor float bowls with fuel so that we can fire it up for the first time with the new carb. Let's try not to catch this one on fire.
No.
I care a little bit more about my brand new Holley than I do in our normal Roadkill Garage scenario.
I know, we've got fender covers.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Stop. Huge fuel leak. Your hard line doesn't work at all.
Oh, it's not tightened.
Oh, maybe that's why.
That was just a trial fit. You want to try again?
Yeah.
Runs great.
Perfect.
That was pretty good.
Okay, what do we get? 7.680 to 60.
Wow. That's way better than I thought it was going to be. I was
9.96 before, right?
Yeah.
No way. Quarter mile? Oh, what did I do?
No. Don't tell me you erased it. I was like hoping for a 7 second. Isn't that what I said?
How do I go back?
90! Oh!
1594 at 91 miles an hour.
Wow.
That's huge.
Wow, I was telling you 90 miles an hour in a quarter would be great.
Dude, we picked up 10 miles an hour.
Holy cow, that's awesome.
And that was a horrible leave.
I know.
Wow, how come it doesn't feel that strong?
I don't know, but didn't I tell you, man, if we can get it to run 90 in the quarter, that's pretty good.
I know, you said you'd be excited. Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge. 10 miles an hour?
Yeah. Boy, this thing must have been a real pig. We just forgot about how bad it was.
I know. Dude.
This thing's kicking ass now.
Finally!
Yeah.
Man! This thing is finally running the way it should. I won't say that it's fast, but it is so much faster, it's ridiculous. The G-Tech said, I think our best run stock was 1770.
Yeah.
And we went 1550?
Yeah.
Man,
That's
so
a
much
lot.
better. And it picked up 10 miles an hour.
And that means over 90 in the quarter, which is my prediction when we started. 90 was the magic number.
So the numbers off that G-Tech, I wouldn't trust them as far as exactly what it would run at the drag strip, but the bottom line is now, this thing actually moves out like a Road Runner should. It's still a complete dog off the line just because it weighs so much and has a highway gear.
Yeah.
But once you're rolling and kick the thing down,
it's good.
It moves out.
Yeah, no, you can't complain.
I'm stoked.
Me too.
Finally, it's actually a drivable car.
I love the Road Runner.
Me too.